Welcome to New Life Live with host and founder of New Life Ministries, Stephen Arterburn. New Life Live is dedicated to transforming lives one at a time, thanks to the giving hearts of you, our listeners. Our goal is to provide you with wisdom from God's Word to give you hope and help in life's hardest places. If you have a question you'd like to ask today, our phone lines are open. Call 1-800-229-3000. That number again is 1-800-229-3000. Now here's Steve.
Hello, everyone. It isn't Steve, it's Becky Brown, and I'm so glad you have joined us today. We're actually doing a special show today. I'm so excited. You hear us talking about the Restore Workshop all the time, and we have one coming up February 25th in Orange County, California, and we want you to be there. If you are a woman who has experienced betrayal, we can help you. We have a great group of people, and I want to introduce to you our special presenters for that workshop, Mangin-McDonald and Stacey Sadler. Hi, you guys.
Hey, we got Texas in the house.
Yes, we
today.
do. I am so glad you're here. And let me tell you, we're taking calls for the next hour, 1-800-229-3000. So if this is a subject that has touched your life, give us a call, and Laura and Stacey will be able to answer your questions. Stacey, Laura, give the audience just a brief view of what brought you into this kind of work, into the presenting for Restore.
Well, my goodness, it's something that is that you don't sign up for, going, oh, let me sign up because I have lived through betrayal. But it's something that I am passionate about.
So what happened to you?
Well, what happened to me is something I never thought would have happened. I would have argued with the world that my husband would have ever have betrayed me. But I called, when it happened, I found out we had no history of it. I called in the first responders, pastors, my best friends, and New Life, right? Becky Brown, I've cried with her on the phone before. And we got into therapy, went to emotional freedom, intimacy, and marriage. He went to every man's battle. It's a lifetime recovery, but it's worth it.
Wonderful. Thanks, Laura. And I know you guys are doing great and continuing to do the work. Stacey, how about you?
Well, I was married for 24 years, and it was a lot of rockiness, but my marriage did not survive addiction and betrayal. And so, my husband wanted both me and the other woman. And, for me, that was just utter devastation, and I couldn't see life separate from him. And I defined myself as being a wife and mom, and I couldn't see any other kind of life. And I became pretty powerless and helpless and really in victim mode and totally like a martyr. And finally I got sick and tired of being sick and tired of myself and decided to take the deep dive in recovery for myself. Look at my control issues and other things, and finally started healing for myself, got good therapy, got into groups, and that led me to become a counselor and turn the junk that had happened into my life into good things. And so today I am actually after dating 50 plus first dates, I'm in a healthy, godly relationship and thriving in my career and helping people.
Yeah, I know you both help so many women find freedom. There's a big resistance to going to Restore. We have a lot of women who wait till the last minute to sign up. They're not quite sure, but we know this is happening to so many people. What would you say just to encourage someone who may be thinking, this has happened to me, just in, a few words?
I would say you're worth it. You're worth it. Go, and the life will go on without you there for a weekend, I promise.
And we can only heal in community.
Oh, yeah.
We need community. We cannot heal in our head and by ourselves. It will not work.
That's so true. This is a community here, and we are going to be taking your calls. So this may be your first step into getting into that freedom. So you could give us a call at 1-800-229-3000, and Laura and Stacey and I will answer your call, and we'll help you get through some stuff that may be keeping you from your best life. We know that there's help. We know that there's hope on the other side of this challenge, and we are here for you. Give us a call, 1-800-229-3000, and it could be the beginning of a brand new life.
The beginning of the rest of your life.
I love that.
That's right.
We'll be right back after this break.
I've been struggling with a porn addiction for the last 20 years.
In today's world, men are barraged with inappropriate content and images all day, every day. Some say that certain behaviors are just no big deal. They're just part of being a guy. But it's simply not true. It's a battleground for every man, and the opportunities to fail are everywhere. The Every Man's Battle Workshop can help.
I'm 10 years out. It's really changed my whole life with my whole family.
For over 20 years, New Life Ministries has been helping men regain their integrity and purity through their one-of-a-kind Every Man's Battle Workshop. Now the workshop is coming to Dallas March 5th to the 6th. Don't wait for him to call. To find out more, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE or go to newlife.com.
The tools that you guys gave me really has changed me essentially in every way. I'm just so much more of a man that God wanted me to be.
1-800-NEWLIFE. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
Welcome back. I am so glad that you are all joining us for this special show today. I am joined by Stacey Sadler and Laura Mangin-McDonald, and we're talking and taking your calls. If Restore Workshop is of any interest to you, that would be great. But you know what? Betrayal hits all kinds of families. And so, we'd love to take your calls, 1-800-229-3000. I want to say a special hello. I was a little bit rattled because I wanted to say a special hello to our YouTube family, because that's where I watch when I'm not on the program. And thank you all for joining us there. Hit that subscribe button, share it with other people so that people will know about New Life. We're going to go to the calls. And by one more thing, we have a discount if you want to go to Restore February 25th. If you register by this Friday, which I think is tomorrow, February 11th, you'll have a discount. Give us a call and find out more about that. We're going to go to Monica, who's calling us from Titusville, Florida, and she listens on WTLN. Hi, Monica. How are you today, and how can we help you?
Hi, yes. So I'm calling because I found out about Betrayal 3 years ago. I had been with my husband since I was 16 years old. And I'm just stuck. I feel like I'm stuck, and I just need some guidance on some steps to make.
Okay. Well, you called the right place at the right time. Stacey or Laura, where would you begin with Monica?
Well, I have a question, Monica. Have you started any type of individual therapy?
Yes. So I did do your emotional workshop.
Okay.
Did you just do that
And
in
I
January, Monica?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Okay.
And what'd you find out, Monica? What'd you find out 3 years ago?
That my spouse had been having affairs possibly for the last 10 years with many different women.
Oh, gosh.
That's so hard.
And then I found out that I'm a pleaser, so like he just knows how to manipulate me into doing what he wants.
Okay.
So that's
So what have you done so far besides the individual therapy, Monica?
that's where I've started. I did the emotional freedom workshop, and I just didn't realize the situation that I was in.
Okay. Do you kind of feel stuck having children
Yes.
that you can't put him
Yes,
out?
I have 2 children that are struggling with depression and anxiety.
Yeah, I think boundaries sometimes are hard. Obviously, if you find out that there's unhealthy behavior going on in your home, boundaries are the next step. But sometimes there's barriers to boundaries because you're in a place of fear.
Yeah.
And so I
Right.
think a good thing to work on is the fear. What is the fear? Is it financial? Is it the shame of being without him? When we really dig down into why we're scared to set a boundary or find a voice, especially being a pleaser, that's a really good place to start, is to dig into the fears that you feel.
Right. And it's so, and when you have children, because you're thinking, oh, I want to keep them with the father. I don't want to break them up. And of course we don't encourage that, but you do need to have some very firm lines in the sand, because he's not going to stop what he's doing because you give him another chance, you forgive him. He needs to be putting in some hard practical steps. He needs to go to every man's battle. Both of you all can go to intimacy in marriage. For you to come to restore along with your individual therapy. But when we keep that fear alone, fear is a big monster inside of us.
Well, and Monica, you said you're stuck. So what do you identify as the place that you're stuck? Are you immobilized because you're in shock? Are you overwhelmed? Like, how would you describe?
I think because of everything that I have experienced and the way that he responds, that's the fear. His response is my fear.
Okay. All right. And, the reason why I asked that is because...
I have thought about going to a women's shelter.
Okay.
Because there are times that I do get so fearful, but then I feel shame that I want to, that I do want to leave, but then I feel guilty that I'm leaving.
It's overwhelming. It's all of those feelings. That's the reason why I asked what was keeping you stuck. And I think, if you've thought about going to a women's shelter, it may be that's your next step. And you don't, one of the challenges, and you guys know this, we get stuck because there's so many things that have to be addressed.
Right.
And
they're
so
legit.
Then we can't do just one thing. And so, Monica, maybe that's that first step is that you contact the women's shelter, make that your first move. Get connected with a group. If you went to Emotional Freedom, you can be part of the Sustained Healing Group,
That's
and that
huge.
could be a big way of moving forward.
Because you can't do this by yourself, Monica. Like we opened the show, we cannot heal alone. We need community, we need comfort, and that will bring us the confidence to draw those strong lines, because your children it's not good for them to see their mother be beaten down.
Yeah.
And Monica, I just want to speak to your shame about going to the women's shelter. You're not the one that caused that.
Yeah,
He's the one that caused it by going outside of your marriage, and all you're doing is keeping your children safe and trying to keep your family as healthy as possible. And so sometimes when we're betrayed, we take on the shame of the betrayer. And the truth is, it's his shame. You're just doing what you need to do to keep yourself and your kids safe.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, Monica, I thank you for calling. We're going to send you a copy of Sherry's book, Intimate Deception, Healing the Wounds of Betrayal, because I think that can also give you some next steps. In there, Sherry talks all about what is happening to you when betrayal occurs. Betrayal trauma is a real thing.
Absolutely.
And
It changes the molecular structure of our body.
Yeah, it really does. And I think that can give an explanation to that stuck feeling.
Stuck feeling.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thanks for calling.
Thank you, Monica.
We're going to go to Ruth, who's calling us from, maybe Terry, can you fix that for me? Thank you. Ruth is calling us from Columbia, Maryland. And, I got her. There you go. Hi, Ruth. It's Becky and Laura and Stacey. We are so glad you called today. How can we help you?
I don't know. I'm a retired nurse of 44 years. I've been married. I think that's what's hard. I've been married 3 times. My first husband, he was drafted in the Vietnam War and was ready to come home, and I was packing up, and I caught him with someone red-handed. So that took many years to remarry. Remarried again, and my mother, I don't know why mothers know, I don't have children, but my mother said, I don't know about this guy. And I swore I'd never marry a physician. So what do you think I did? Not only did I marry one, but I got out of that relationship within 9 months. It was very unhealthy. And then a womanizer, blah, blah, blah. And then I was married 20-some years to what I thought was, I thought after losing a husband that I loved so much, even though he destroyed my trust when I caught him with someone. That was my first husband. He was the love of my life. And when I got married, was married for 21 years, and 2/22/02 at 8 o'clock in the morning, my husband walked out the door and said, "Please forgive me." And I thought, well, that's weird. We had not been fighting. We didn't really fight. He didn't have as much sex as he wanted because he looked at a lot of porn. Because when I had to get a lawyer, because money was kind of vanishing from some of the accounts, and I had to get a lawyer, a specialist, to scan his computer. And he was very good at it. He went ahead and had scanned everything, but he left. There was quite a bit of porn in there. I don't look at porn, so there was quite a bit of porn. anyway, when he left, I filed for divorce, and he married like 2 weeks later after the divorce. So he'd been seeing somebody. Anyway, all these years, I'm 71 now, and I do have many health issues. I'm not really into dating. I really don't want to. Number one, I don't want to put all my health issues on someone else. It's just not fair. But I just can't seem to get beyond the betrayal of all three men. It's like, I think I have a pretty good judge of character. Now, my mother, she's dead now, but she said, with the other two, not only did I marry one physician, I married two. She said, that was your first mistake.
Ruth, until we find out what's going on inside of us, there's something inside of you that's drawn to guys with integrity issues. I always say, it's a different face but same place. To find out what's going on in you, that you don't feel valued enough to have a guy that will treat you right. What is the main message that you're telling yourself? You say you're really not wanting into another relationship, but the betrayal says what to you? What does it say who you are? Who is Ruth?
I think I'm a woman of good and great integrity. I do suffer from depression since all of this has happened. I can tell you that I did not have, my mother was as wonderful as she could be, but my father had PTSD from World War II, so he could often, now I was able to get along with him fine. He never really beat on me, but he beat my mother all the time. And I just picked the wrong, looking back, it's like, I can remember my mother saying to me, why don't you date this, I'm just going to say Joe Doe, I don't remember his name now. He's such a nice guy. I said,
you like to
I
rescue guys,
like
though,
him.
Ruth.
Yeah. You know what? But here's the thing, Ruth. What I hear is somebody who you're saying that how do I move on? But you've got a lot of grief, not only from betrayal, but from a family. Stacey, what do you want to add to this conversation?
Yeah, I see a lot of trauma, probably complex trauma, and I want to say it's not too late to heal, Ruth. You have probably a lot of good years ahead of you, and whatever you have ahead of you can be good, and it can be relieved by doing some trauma work. And I think it's not too late to invest in yourself.
She could come to Restore.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Absolutely.
So, and my other thought is, Ruth, do you have a group of women that are your pals that are doing life with you, or are you pretty isolated in your life?
I'm pretty isolated, and I can tell you one of the things I've done lately is, I've had some, when I first got all these medical issues, pacemaker, AV ablation, blah, 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 you don't need to know the whole history of that, although I do okay. But anyway, I started kind of looking through my phone book, and I got a message from one of my best friends that I worked with at a hospital in Baltimore for years and years and years. And she ended up sending me a postcard, and it hurt me so badly because I think when the health issues came up, of course when you have a new health issue, especially ones I've had some pretty scary ones. And I've had 5 pulmonary embolisms.
Well, so Ruth,
God,
I think
the
challenge, though, that you have is, okay, this is where you are today, and we know that community can help us move forward and can help us heal. And I don't know if you're already working with a counselor, but definitely that would be part of the process that you'd need to get into. And,
I have.
Okay. And because your health also impacts the way that you think and that you feel. And I think that's something that people don't realize is that, our mental and emotional health is tied into the body that it lives in.
It's all together.
And so even with the past wounding and betrayal, you could also have just the challenges because of that. So I would recommend that you, get connected with a group. Yes. I would say go to Restore.
You really need to be at Restore.
And begin that process of healing all the parts. We talked about this the other day about how long people will wait. And it's not just women in betrayal.
No.
Like, what is that magic word that we need to say for people to seek help?
Well, it's like what Stacey said, that she's worth it.
You're worth it.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking all all ages, sizes, colors, show up at Restore, and an 18-year-old woman can learn from a 70-year-old woman, and a 71-year-old woman can learn from an 18-year-old woman. It is crazy the connection that happens and the magic that happens when people get together and unload their trauma story.
Right.
And the healing that happens. There's so much healing in telling your story, because sometimes those words have never been uttered out of your mouth.
That's right.
And that's what happens at Restore.
And I think sometimes, and you guys know this, is that we don't think anyone could ever begin to understand what we've been through.
No.
And then all of a sudden, you find
It's
a
like,
community.
they get me.
Yeah, they get me.
Me too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well,
Ruth
great
has
thing.
a precious voice. I want her to just hear that. Your voice is precious, and it sounds much younger than 71. So,
Yes.
Ruth, I would love to see you at Restore and to begin the rest of your life.
And we're going to send her a copy of Take Your Life Back, because
That's good.
I really want Ruth to get focused on, just doing whatever you can to get well. You can give us a call, 1-800-229-3000, and we'll be right back.
My husband was involved with pornography addiction.
He was unfaithful. I called the wedding off. He stepped out on the marriage and ended up having a child.
The Restore Workshop is designed for a woman dealing with a man's sexual addiction issues.
My husband is a recovering sex addict. There were strip clubs, other ladies.
If you've been affected by betrayal, an emotional or physical affair, or pornography, the Restore Workshop will equip you with support and tools to help you through.
Restore has empowered me and has given me the tools to work through my anger, work through my pain, work through my confusion, and help me realize that I am worthy.
Being here and being surrounded by people who get it has given me my power back.
The Restore Workshop is coming to Southern California February 25th to the 27th. To register or to find out more, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE or go online to newlife.com.
Thank you, Restore. You have changed my life forever.
Hi, this is Steve Arterburn, and for 30 years, New Life has been the most trusted name in Christian counseling.
Your ministry has saved my life.
If you struggle with emotional hurt, family or marriage problems, the pit of depression, or the pain of addictions, we can help.
I'm down 100 pounds now from what I was.
You guys are awesome. You're a blessing to America.
Our treatment programs provide clinically appropriate solutions from licensed professionals, all in a biblical framework.
I have had problems with alcohol. I think God has ordained this place to be His.
You don't have to be a prisoner of your pain. Help is available at 1-800-NEW-LIFE.
She tells me that I'm a new man, and I feel like a new man.
It worked for me, and it can work for them too.
This time it is different.
If you're ready to take the first step toward genuine spiritual and emotional healing, please call us today at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. God can open the door to a better tomorrow right now. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433.
We'd love to hear from you. If you have a question or a comment, call toll-free 1-800-229-3000. Now back to New Life Live.
Welcome back. We're having fun, and we're helping people, and it's just a great day to be at New Life Live. And you can call us at 1-800-229-3000. And by we, it's me, Becky Brown, joined by Stacey Sadler and Laura Mangin-McDonald. They are our presenters at our Restore Workshop, which is going to be February 25th in Orange County. And if you register by tomorrow, you'll get a discount, and this may be the best decision that you make all year. So, start it off right. I also want to encourage you, if you give a gift of any amount to New Life this month, in the month of February, we're celebrating by giving you a copy of Dr. Dave and Jan Stoops' book, Smart Love. Not stupid love, not crazy love, but smart love. And in this book, Dave and Jan go into all of the ways that our emotions play into our connections and how to have a real solid connection with each other. We love Dave and we miss him dearly, but boy, his legacy continues and he's going to keep helping people. And so for a gift of any amount, just give us a call and we'll get that to you. All right, let's go back to the calls. We are going to talk to Teresa, who is calling us from Colorado Springs and listens on KGRT, I think, or KGFT. Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing fine, thank you.
How can we help you today?
Well, I have a little bit of a different kind of betrayal going on in my life. I owned a home, and had a housekeeping company, and worked in orthodontics, and raised my 2 kids and 2 Great Danes with 2 mortgages, and
You're a capable woman, Teresa.
Yes. Well, I was a capable woman. I suffered a work injury in 2013 and met my now husband in 2014, and whirlwind romance, and just, he was the answer to my prayers, and I had been praying for somebody like him. But then, as it turns out, I married a narcissist who has no real sense of self, and everything that was good about him was, and not saying I'm perfect, but he was mirroring me. He was taking on my persona and mirroring it back to me. So I thought this guy just, had all the same ideals and beliefs and convictions and, things that I had. And 3 days after the closing of my home, where, I had a 4-bedroom, 3-bath house, it was only, I worked hard, and I got my mortgage down to only $560 a month. And I don't know if you're familiar with Colorado Springs, but you can't even get an apartment for less than
$1,000 like I said, you're a capable woman. Then what happened, Teresa?
Well, 3 days after I moved in, he, now I understand it was intentional, because he doesn't have accidents. Everything he does is intentionally. He left his phone sitting up, made sure to bring my attention to it, and walked away. And I saw that he was going to have lunch with one of his clients. And so I questioned him about it. And, he lied and backstepped and made up all these stories. And, it was going to be me and my employee going to lunch with her because she wanted to treat us, for taking care of her for 2 years. And anyways, and when I asked the question, he told a lie, and I said, that's not what this says. And he goes, oh, wait, let me see it. And anyways, long story short, he is forever trying to get, I gave him plenty of attention. I'm very, very affectionate. But it's just never enough for him.
Okay. So what's your question for Stacey and Laura?
Well, I've been in therapy for 2 years so far, and I'm just now going through the process of divorce. I left him in 2019. He had spyware on my phone, and he could hear everything I said. He could see everything, through my camera lens. He had full control of my phone, could turn it off, turn it on. He would come home.
So what is the different kind of betrayal that you're wanting to ask about?
That's it. It's narcissism. It's the fact that...
So what to do?
He was not... Once I married him, or once we were going to get married, anyways, once that he thought that he had me trapped, that's when his true colors came out.
Right. Well, so Teresa, I think we get a good picture of it. And I think, when you're thinking that it's a different kind of betrayal, it's not. It's betrayal. Yeah. And I think that's something that a lot of people struggle with, understanding that betrayal is just what it says. It doesn't need to have different qualifiers. There are different ways to describe it. But yes, you were betrayed, and it's very tricky. Stacey, Laura, where would you have her begin?
I guess just what comes to my mind immediately as you were telling the story, I hear you being very capable financially, being able to manage things, that you're prudent, you do due diligence, all of this, but you weren't able to catch this. You weren't able to catch this, and I think that's where you're stuck.
Yeah. And we're going to go to a break, Teresa, and we'll be back in just a minute. But, I think it's very important for people to know betrayal
is betrayal.
It is. And
That's right.
and what you just said, Laura, is very powerful. It's the shame that we take on
She can't accept it. Oh my gosh, I missed this.
Right.
That's right.
And that's what
that's trauma. That's the definition of trauma right there.
Exactly.
But you can heal from it.
Yes.
And
you
we'll
don't
talk
have
about
to stay
that.
stuck.
We will talk about that. And
sure.
we'll give you a couple of different ways to go through it. But I think that the shock factor, you can't believe it happens to you. Unfortunately, it happens.
And she's trying to find an answer in different type of betrayal.
And we'll be right back.
I'm 433 pounds.
How long have you weighed that much?
I've probably been over 300 at least 15, 20 years.
Does this sound like your story? It doesn't have to. The weight we carry on the outside is often a result of the burdens we carry on the inside. If you want to reduce your inner burden, New Life's Lose It for Life Extensive can help. The Extensive features a one-day Zoom session presented by Steve Arterburn on Saturday, March 19th, plus 5 weeks of aftercare that include a weekly group session led by your credentialed New Life Network counselor, 5 on-demand training sessions from Steve Arterburn and fitness expert Michelle Spadafora, 3 30-minute private coaching sessions from a nutrition and fitness coach, the Lose It for Life book and workbook, and exercise gear to allow you to start a home fitness routine you'll actually enjoy. If you're finally ready to stop going from diet to diet and begin a comprehensive plan that addresses the psychological, emotional, and spiritual aspects of a healthy life, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE.
I was really living a very anxiety-filled life. I turned on New Life, and the topic that day was about anxiety. And just by listening, I got relief.
You can help New Life stay on the air by joining Club New Life today. When you sign up to support us monthly through Club New Life, we'll send you the new member thank you gift of the Life Recovery Bible personal size, the 1-year Life Recovery Prayer Devotional, the New Life Journal, a New Life pen and highlighter, and a New Life zipper tote to hold it all. Plus, there are ongoing benefits like access to the Club New Life video library, the monthly Club New Life CD or download, quarterly resources, free shipping on purchased resources, and discounts on workshops. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433. Support Club New Life, and together we can help hurting people find help and hope in life's hardest places. Call 1-800-639-5433 to join Club New Life today. We're glad you joined us for New Life Live. To be a part of the program, call 1-800-229-3000. Now back to New Life Live.
Welcome back. We are finishing up our conversation with Teresa. And Stacey, you had a couple of tips for dealing with trauma.
Yeah, I think we were just talking at the break that Teresa is so stunned by what happened. And I know she feels like her narcissistic husband took away her voice, her power by being who he was as a narcissist. A narcissist can feel larger than life and make you feel like you're really small. And the beginning of that is to grieve what really, really happened and be able to find your own power and take that power back. And there's so many ways she can be empowered to move forward. Some of it is, loss of her privacy. When he put that out there, she lost her privacy. And I can imagine that was absolutely devastating to her, and loss of the personal power with being with someone that only can see themselves. But the more she can see herself, Teresa, the more you can see who you are and who you are in Christ. And being in a group with other women, we kind of beat the dead horse of being in a group, but where others can see you. And like Becky, you've said to her over and over again, you are an empowered woman. And she is. She's a worker bee, and she can do it. And to soften his voice and increase the other voices in her life.
Right. And the other part of that too, Teresa, is that shame that you're feeling because of you cannot believe this happened to you because you were so capable and so empowered. The acceptance of the reality of the situation will get you on the path to healing. Yes. And I think many times we get stuck in that direction of I can't believe it, and so therefore, and even in grieving, we talk about this in grieving of any kind, any loss, can your feet get stuck in cement?
Yeah. Right, it's the shock stage of it all. But when we start coming out of that shock and we come into reality of really what happened, what hits next is grief.
Yeah,
and the tears and the sadness and even the anger. I think she needs to get a little angry.
There you go.
Right, but she's still so focused on her messing up.
Yeah.
She just has a hard time accepting that, but that's okay. We all do, and she needs some sisters around her to encourage her. We all do that.
Yeah.
That doesn't.
Yeah,
That's
because
right.
sometimes in our capability we get isolated.
Yeah.
So
That's right.
Well, thank you, Teresa. We're going to
Yeah,
send
thank
you
you for calling.
a copy of Healing is a Choice, because I think that'll help you get through some of these stages that we've been talking about and get you on a healing road. You know, one of the things that we do here at New Life is we ask people to support us, and you usually hear Larry's voice, but we're not letting him in the room today. So, but I want to encourage you, if you are part of Club New Life, I want to thank you. But if you have yet to join Club New Life, now is the time. We have a great welcome gift with a fancy schmancy bag that I love so much. But our goal is that you would become a regular partner in helping us help people.
Yes.
And so, if you'll just call us, 1-800-NEW-LIFE, or you can go online at newlife.com and you can become part of Club New Life. It would make such a difference for such a small amount. For $30 a month or more, you can do this. And it can make all the difference in the world. And I just want to encourage you to do that. We appreciate all of those who are partners with us and are helping us get help and hope out to so many people. And in this time, there are a lot of people that are listening to the show that wouldn't normally be able to get help otherwise. And so we're giving them some good information, good process that they can get started in, and some support as well. So I just want to encourage you all to do that. But now we're going to go and help some people right now. We're going to talk to Lisa, who's calling us from Mount Pleasant, British Columbia. I think that's what that says. And she listens on Sirius XM, and you can too, at Channel 131, Family Talk, at 1 p.m. Eastern. Hi, Lisa. How are you, and how can we help you today?
Hi, thank you for taking my call. I'm from South Carolina.
The
same. Just a little different.
My eyes, I cannot see it from here. I was thinking that, Lisa. I was like, British Columbia. Okay. Yeah, anyway, well, I'm glad you're from South Carolina. How can we help you today, Lisa?
I'm 64, and I've been married half my life, 32 years. And after prayers, we prayed together every night. My husband said that he no longer wanted to be married.
Oh
gosh. And he left, and he is living with another woman. And I truly believe I'm being held up by the Lord right now.
Yeah.
And I know that. But I do still have days that are really, really hard. My husband, I didn't know, but he hadn't been paying the mortgage, so they were ready to foreclose. He put liens on our cars, so they're repossessing my car. He's left me holding the mess, and he's off. He believes he's been reincarnated. He was a Christian man. We helped marriages. We mentored people. And he now believes that all of that is a sham and that he's found the real truth, and he is the guardian of all angels, and he has found his twin flame, and together they're going to pursue their mission. And he does not get anything that he has done to me. My question is, people say, Lisa, you're strong. You have done things in the past. He's done things in the past that we have overcame, and you're just going to have a new life now, and God is taking you on a new journey. Where I'm stuck is I say, but I don't want to. I don't want to. Everybody's like, think about how exciting it's going to be. But I don't want that. I wanted my life that I had.
Yes.
I want to be able to stay in my home. I can't now. I have to leave it. I want to be able to stay around, but I'm having to move 3.5 hours away for something I can afford. And how do I wrap my head around trying to get that enthusiasm to start over at my age? And I have not worked in the workforce for 27 years. I was a school teacher, and I don't know how to. I am putting one foot in front of the other. My sister-in-law is here helping me pack my house up, but at the same time, when everybody's saying, oh, this is all great and new, and how do I embrace that? Because I don't want that.
Well,
I want what I...
Lisa, first of all, it's not time for that.
No.
And I think so many times people want to push us into that space because they don't know what to do with their feelings about what's happening to you.
That's right.
And we are all here to affirm this has been a bomb that has gone in your life. It is terrible.
This is terrible. I think, Lisa, you've got to feel your way into a new life.
Yeah.
And and right now, don't even think about the new life. Think about the feelings. You got to get pretty angry about
And you
the
need to
fact
be
that
crying.
this has happened. Both
Yeah.
sides, the sadness and the anger.
It has been 5 months, just a couple days ago, 5 months, and I feel like it just happened yesterday.
Sure.
I'm sure.
And I have anger, and I do cry all the time, and I have had the anger, but I felt like God said to me when I couldn't hear him where he was leading me, I felt like it was that I was stuck in hate, and I didn't want hate, and I said, God, how do you not hate? And he said, pray for him. So I've been trying to pray for him, but I'll tell you, I'm praying for him while I'm crying so bad because my flesh doesn't want to.
Right.
But I am trying to pray for him because I feel that's going to make my communication open better with God.
I think that you've got to go through a period of anger, and I think that God knows that. I think God hates what he's doing too, and I think he's going to join you in some of that. We don't want you to stay in anger for the rest of your life, but certainly for a period of time, it's really important. You know, you have a part of your brain called the hippocampus, and every day that y'all prayed together, there was a file that went into that hippocampus. It's like a file storage and of security. Oh, my husband loves me. We're living godly principles. And when he came home with this news, it was as if all the files got blown out of the file cabinet, shattered and all over the floor. And you're sitting here looking at every piece of one of those papers going, this doesn't make sense.
Right.
What?
Yes.
Reincarnation? Like
Yeah.
what? What
Yeah.
happened to Jesus in all this?
Right.
And so part of your story, how can you go on when your life is laying there in millions of pieces of paper all over the floor?
It's dust.
And so what has to happen neurobiologically is you have to pick up one piece of paper and go, wait, this doesn't make sense. And you have to do that over and over and over again. And that's what the healing is about, is going, none of this makes sense, and talking it out with people. And that's why people who get it and people who understand, trying to make sense of the unmake-sensible.
Yeah.
You know? And
Yes.
that's
New
what,
word. Yes.
Yeah, that's
It's a
what
good
it
one.
is. And that's what it is. And that is, I believe, your duty for the next few months and even year.
Yeah, I agree with that. Laura, you want to add anything before we go?
I totally agree with what Stacey said. You need people who get you, who can validate, because while you're grieving, you've been trying to also justify why you feel the way you do, which is draining on your energy. You need some sisters to get around you and stand with you and hold you up, Galatians, to undergird you and carry you through this time. That's right.
And not ones that are going to go, rah, rah,
Yeah,
it's going to be
no.
good.
Move on.
We can't move on from what we don't move through.
That's right.
And this is a moving through time that takes a while.
That's right. And, you know, Lisa, it is devastating.
Oh, it is.
Yes.
I'm so sorry.
We hear
We're
you.
grieving with you.
We are
crying
grieving with
for
you.
And mad too.
Yeah, and mad.
Yeah, we're mad. Oh.
But this is the process of healing, is that we join together and
That's
we
right.
encourage each other to get the healing. We'll be right back.
For most of my life, I've been dealing with an opiate addiction.
Why is opioid addiction quickly becoming one of our nation's biggest killers? Maybe it's because it isn't only those who are addicted who are in denial.
We did what I see so many parents do, is it can't be an addiction. There's something medically wrong.
It's impossible to solve a problem when you don't know what you're up against, and families will try to find any explanation except the one that will put them on the right path.
Alcoholism and drug addiction is a family disease. It doesn't affect just the individual.
If someone you love is abusing painkillers, know what you're up against. It's time to admit its addiction and seek treatment. Call us today at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. We have partner treatment centers around the country. Call 1-800-639-5433 or visit us online at newlife.com.
We just made a decision. We will do whatever it takes.
1-800-NEW-LIFE.
Hi, this is Steve Arterburn, and for 30 years, New Life has been the most trusted name in Christian counseling.
I'm an addict, and I'm trying to get God in my life again. You seem to be able to get to the crux of a problem quickly.
Our Christ-centered treatment programs can help you break free to embrace all that God has for you and your family.
I just want to thank you guys for bringing me to a relationship with Jesus.
There really is help for marital problems, depression, addictions, panic attacks, and feelings of hopelessness.
I came back with so many tools to help me prepare myself to fight this struggle and this battle that I have every day.
You can start living again today, living the life God intended for you. Help is available at 1-800-NEW-LIFE.
They did care, and they did follow up very lovingly, and it made all the difference in my life.
Call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Someone who cares is waiting at the other end of the phone. God can open the door to a better tomorrow right now. Just call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. 1-800-639-5433.
To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
Welcome back. We're so glad you tuned in today, and I think you're learning a lot from my friends Stacey and Laura. You know, one of the things I wanted to say, we're all in town because we're going to be doing the Intimacy and Marriage Workshop beginning tomorrow, and we're going to help a lot of couples make a difference in their life. So it's the other side, right?
Yeah,
you know, we don't just work with the problem, we also work with the solution.
And you remember early on, Becky, when you said, hey, I want you to work the Intimacy and Marriage Workshop, and I said, no way, because I was too burned.
Right.
But guess what?
Right.
And now it's all shifted.
Yeah.
And I'm so pro-marriage and so for healing marriages as well.
That pain turned into a purpose.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
right. It's powerful. Okay, all the P's. We're
alliteration.
We're going to talk to Stephanie, who's calling from Cleveland, Ohio. Hi, Stephanie. I'm glad you called. How can we help you today?
Hi, thanks for taking my call. So I've been struggling with sexual immorality for about 12 years. I've never been married, and I'm just wondering, when it comes to those times where I have the urge, to engage in fornication, do you guys have any advice or as far as how to sustain and stay strong? I know that I have a friend who sends me daily scriptures and things like that just to kind of strengthen my faith. However, I still find myself falling into that sexual sin. So I was just seeing if there was any advice that can be given.
I think we can help you, Stephanie. You know, one of the things that Steve says all the time, it's not enough just to have the Bible, which I know that sounds,
we got to put it into application.
Exactly. But I appreciate your friend encouraging you that way. But Laura, Stacey, where do you guys want to start as we help Stephanie?
Well, I just would like to know, what is your age, Stephanie?
I'm 27.
Okay, so you're still young, so you're just still kind of feeling your way through this. Well, Stacey, why don't you go on?
So,
and I'll add something later.
Yeah, I think it's good that you have an accountability partner. I think more than one is good sometimes too, to have a group of people that you go to. I know walking through singlehood, that is something that's really, really hard. And so I think keep that up and maybe gain some more people in your herd to help you out. The other thing is I would ask myself what if you were to think about being without sex, what would that feel like for you? Like, what purpose does sex serve for you? Is it a way to get the guy? Is it the way to feel attractive? Is it the way that you ensure that you're going to have somebody? What do you think?
What do you think, Stephanie?
Well, I guess for me, it's none of those. It's more of just the feeling in itself.
Oh, feeling close.
So
you feel close to them.
Well, not necessarily close, but I guess the actual pleasure part of it.
Okay.
Okay.
So the challenge, what I'm looking at, Stephanie, is the fact that this started when you were really young. And I don't know if you've made the connection between when you started being sexually active and how it's continued and how now it's a problem for you. Like, you're recognizing this is an issue. And, when we talk about those feelings, those intense feelings, it's because we are trading that for intimacy.
Yes, that's what I just wrote down.
Yeah, we're not really intimate with the person. We're just feeling these intense feelings. And actually, it can create an addiction to that feeling. This is what we talk about with the guys all the time. Mm-hmm. And more women are having this become an addiction in their life. And it's not healthy. You obviously know that it's not what you want. And so what would be a couple of steps for Stephanie to take in order to break this cycle?
Well, I just want to add real quick that this is a legitimate desire that God wired in you, but it's being met in an illegitimate way. Right. So that's the crazy making of the addiction. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, Stephanie, it sounds like your values, you're having a little bit of a values conflict. It's like that this is not what you want for yourself, but yet you fall into the trap. So I might just, sort of start looking at what your values are and write them down, maybe your top 5 values, and see if your behavior is lining up with those values, and if it's not, what's in the way, what's happening that's keeping you from being divided inside.
And I'm going to send you a copy of the Life Recovery Bible, because in recovery, you're going to find some freedom from this, just this habit that is becoming an addiction. I would guarantee that that's where it's headed. And, Stephanie, I don't know, does any of that make sense, or do you have questions about that? How does that relate to what you're asking about?
Yes, it all makes sense.
Well, and I have one more question, Stephanie. I wonder who really knows you outside of a sexual relationship. Who knows you? Because you need to be seen, known, and understood. And then that's going to give you some grounding to move forward, and then to get in some type of recovery 12-step group.
Yeah. Do you have people that are that close to you, Stephanie?
Yes, I do. I have a really close relationship with my mom.
Does she know about this?
Yes, however, she's sexually liberated, so she herself has never been married, so it's.
Stephanie, have you set boundaries for yourself?
Yes, I have. However, I tend to overstep those boundaries when it comes to that part of my life.
So sometimes it can be like, I won't put myself in a certain circumstance, like I won't drink alcohol if I'm going on a date, or I won't go to somebody's house or allow them to come to my house, or I won't have a date longer than a certain amount of time. There's boundaries like that are, that are earlier in the process than just, I'm not going to take off my clothes and do it. You know what I mean? Right. Maybe you need to back up your boundaries a little bit to prevent you from even getting into the type of situation that would lead you to the behavior that you don't want.
And like in any recovery process, you may have to go to a state of abstinence for a while just to reconnect with who you are really, Stephanie.
And in those times, like a fast, connect with God.
Yeah.
Every time you have the urge, you connect with God. It's just
and
like a fast.
And a person who has the same the safety checks.
Yeah.
Unlike your mother, but a person who can stand with you, who can accept you, not judge you, but go, hey, girl, come, call me, text me. Don't put yourself in that.
I love that you called, though, Stephanie.
Yes, I do too. That's precious.
And I think that your goal is to have a life that's full, and that you have a close relationship with someone, but it's not causing you distress. And I think that's why you called today. We're going to.
And she's only 27.
I know, I love it. We're going to send you a copy of that Life Recovery Bible. In the Life Recovery Bible, there are devotionals that go through all the 12 steps. But it's amazing because so many people go, "What does recovery have to do with anything?" It has a lot to do with everything.
Your life,
sure.
And I think as she continues on this path, she's going to learn about herself more.
And another thing is exercise is a really good
endorphin
release that might take the place of some of that dopamine.
Yeah, I love that. I
just would love to see her get in a 12-step group.
Yeah,
with some other people who can stand with her.
And we have life recovery groups available as well.
Sustained healing.
That's right. Yeah, all the things. I know. Well, we're about ready to run out of the show, but I wanted to just say thank you so much to both of you.
This has been so much fun.
Great.
And I know that there was somebody that heard us today that will get some help and that will be seen. And I think that's what our goal is. I'm thankful for you, our listeners, for calling. If you need help, we're here for you. You can call us, 1-800-NEW-LIFE. And join us at a workshop someday.
Yes.
It could make all the difference. Yeah, we would. We would love to see you. And until next time, just give us a call or go to newlife.com. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. We hope this program has helped you by giving you insights for handling the challenges you face in your life. We want you to know that we're here for you, but you also need to know that New Life Live is a listener-supported ministry. To make your donation or to get any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433, or write to us at New Life Ministries, P.O. Box 1029, Lake Forest, California, 92609. Please join us again tomorrow for New Life Live.
Hi, thank you for watching New Life Live. You know, New Life Live is a Christian counseling program where we deal with the hard questions about life, relationships, kids, free choice, freedom of will, whatever. It's all right there on New Life Live every day, every weekday, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. If you want to call into the live broadcast, you can find the schedule on newlife.com or click the social media link right below. You can see every episode of New Life Live on the New Life YouTube channel. Watch it with a friend, watch it later. Be sure to subscribe and hit that bell so you'll never miss another episode. So if you want to listen on the go, download the app. The link is right below. And I hope if you need some information, if you want to get some help, you'll call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. And I'll see you next time.